The visitors, led out by Jimmy Dimmick, only lost one of their last 6, so looking for their 4th win in a row. The Knights haven't been a problem for them in recent years, and they were very impressive in the rain against the Raiders last week. A great defensive effort that kept the Green Machine tryless. And it is a big day for young Peter Marsh, replacing Jason Smith. Moody, a former Knight, comes in to replace Eric Growth in the number 18 jersey. Marsh in 19. There is no Jason Smith, so those youngsters are going to have to put their hand up. And Stuart Kelly, still fairly young at Wally Lewis. He's played 11 games this season, a couple of line breaks, and they'll be relying on him to lead the way up in the centres.
Yeah, he provides a lot of stability out there. His defensive efforts for his coach are very important. The home team taking the field. A few nerves on board there, Greg, but I'm sure they're desperate to prove that they can play football without Andrew Johns.
So for Newcastle, this is the lineup, and it's as per program. Albert on the wing, 10 tries this season. Tahu number 4, 10 tries this season. And he bombed a couple last week against the Sharks, so he'll be making, or looking to make amends for a couple of indiscretions last week. Matthew Johns in the number 6 jersey. I'm told that he's getting back to peak fitness. And David Fairley, gee, he's been reborn since moving to Newcastle this season. 39 offloads. It's very good indeed. Fairly, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders here today as well, with no Tony Butterfield leading the way. They won 3 of their last 6, but they're coming off a heavy loss to the Sharks. 42-16 losers last week, the Knights. Let's see if they can hit back this week. And this is Ben Kennedy. Very hard to beat at Marathon, the Knights. 5 wins and a draw from their 11 matches this season. This is Fairley, 31 metres out from his own line. And Peter Shields. He's about 10 from halfway. These two great sides have played 19 times over the years. It's 9 wins apiece with 1 draw. Doesn't come much closer than that. Still a couple of tackles remaining in this opening set, and Kennedy with his second hit up inside Parramatta territory. The youngster in the 9 jersey is Ben Donaldson. Only his 3rd first-grade performance, playing at dummy half in the hooking role. Now it's Hodgson, and he's been in good form. Good return of the football by Brett Hodgson.
It certainly was. He's a player that Newcastle have got to watch out for. And we saw there that kick was a very poor kick straight down his throat. You can't afford to kick to him on the full. You've got to make him chase the ball.
Through the hands it goes now, and Wesley, 2 off the ruck, got the ball away. It's play on. The crowd thought it was a knock on. Tim Manor is the referee. He wouldn't have any part of it. This is Ian Hindmarsh. Only his 3rd first-grade appearance. Schiavelletti at dummy half. Number 19. There's PJ Marsh, and he got it out to Custo. Hodgson nudging it down towards Adam McDougall. At fullback for the Knights, Robbie O'Davis. At one stage it looked like he was going to be out for up to 10 weeks, but talking with Tony Butterfield before the match, he said that Robbie's injury isn't as bad as first thought, and he might be back as soon as a month. Big Mac Parsons, what a break! He fires it out to Hughes, and Mark Hughes is grabbed from behind by Luke Burt. A metre or so inside Parramatta territory. Shields out the back door. Medeiros couldn't control it, and so Parramatta come up with it. Pass probably didn't have to be made. Schiavelletti. PJ Marsh moves into dummy half and gets it out now to Vella. Wesley had a fine game last week against his old club, the Canberra Raiders. Custo, wide they go. This is Kelly. Kelly got away from one. Fired the pass over to Moody up against his old club, and Jason's going to be forced to play the ball 9 metres out from the line. A great opportunity here for the Parramatta Eels. Cut out pass. It goes out to Dimmick. Dimmick puts it on the toe, but he kicks it right into the arms of Lenny Beckett, but the penalty will go to the Eels. Newcastle inside the 10 metres, so they'll keep the pressure on here.
Well, referee Tim Mander, I think everybody enjoys seeing a referee play an advantage rule. He believes that they were firmly offside and got a call from a touch judge as well. No problem with that, except with the locals, I guess. All players look for is consistency throughout a match. I think he's doing the right thing. No problem whatsoever. Quite clearly, 2 or 3 players standing well in front of the line.
Mander in charge here today. The video referee is David Goyner. Luke Burt. 73% for the season. About 5 metres to the right of the uprights. First points on the board for the Parramatta Eels. They lead the home side, the Newcastle Knights, by 2 points to 0 in the 5th minute.
And that's a pretty good turnaround for them, Greg, because if you remember, around about a minute ago, it looked to all and sundry that Newcastle were the ones that would score the first points. A clever break opened an opportunity. Unfortunately, failure to control the possession is what offered the ball to their opponents. The Eels now charging back 20 metres out in the line. They've got a little bit of spring in their step.
Wesley to play it back to Skipoletti. He's taken by his opposite number, Ben Donaldson. To the short side they go. Ian Hindmarsh, number 12. His brother Nathan is in number 11. Daniel Wagon. Custo. Drops it onto the left foot. Back there for Adam McDougall. And McDougall takes him on, but the return of the football makes it to the 40. Bella was over the top and Custo underneath. Andy Beckett. Shields. Just inside Parramatta territory. One out stuff at the moment, just trying to get a roll on. This is Parsons. With one line break already, the big front rower. Picks up 15 metres or so on that one. Matthew Johns to Kennedy. Final tackle coming up. And Johns goes to the air, gives it plenty of air. Hodgson under some pressure, takes it well right on his try line and manages to go to ground just in the field of play.
Well, a couple of great efforts there. Firstly, the kick from Johns. You could not put that ball any more perfect. Just short of the line, so when it was caught, he did very well. Originally, Hodgson to catch it. Secondly, to get back in the field of play.
Hindmarsh. Taken by Donaldson. Now it's Custo. And Hindmarsh. Good run by Nathan Hindmarsh. Almost up to the halfway. Working that very short blind side. It's Kelly with the kick. Needs a good bounce. Gets a good bounce. Pops it up back on the inside. And they drag Mark down from behind. Or was it Moody, in fact?
Just watch out McDougall there.
So there's the turnover there to the Newcastle Knights.
It was on the last tackle. Clever kick back inside from Kelly. But this is the thing that was terrific. The tip on. And boy, wouldn't this bloke, Moody would love to score a try against his old team.
Well, some credit's got to be given to McDougall there. He had to firstly run in and try and take the kick. Then he's had Kelly to contend with and he's turned around and been able to make the tackle on Moody.
Great work. Adam McDougall. Now here's a break by Gamata Tahu. Donaldson, one-handed pass. Got it back to his captain, Billy Peden. Billy deleting the dice today for only the 3rd time as skipper. Both sides prepared to chance their arms so far in this match. And Hodgson takes it well again. Perfectly positioned. Good take.
Well shepherded by Luke Bird.
This is Daniel Wagon.
He's been very confident under the ball, hasn't he? No problems leaving the ground.
O'Neill from Mount Hutton.
Jimmy Dimmock
O'Neill from Mount Hutton.
on the 20. Skipoletti picks up 10 metres. Before he ran into Parsons and also Badiras. There's Gary Larson, 240th first grade game today for Larson. Costo kicking for Lenny Beckett's wing. And Beckett can't get away from Wagon and also Luke Burt. He'll play it on to 40.
Right there, over the top.
There's no need for that one, and Manda penalising Burt here. See, I've seen worse.
Jerome game over there, on the foot. Okay.
Be a good tussle.
Don't you get sucked in. Okay.
Good tussle this one, Greg, between these two young wingers. Of course, Luke Burt, he's a local boy from Newcastle.
Donaldson gives it to Badiris, and now Fairley bounced away from Vela's attempted shoulder charge. Donaldson now to Parsons. On the 30. Good field position. Switch of play from Johns back to Donaldson. Donaldson gave it to Kennedy. Kennedy stepping. Kennedy getting close. Kennedy will score the try. The first try of the match. Now he wants to go to the video referee.
Thanks, Dave.
There may be a questionable pass involved in the lead-up.
Well, that's the only danger. I've got to say, though, it didn't appear to any of us three anyway that there was much of a problem with it originally. Well, I think that's pretty flat. And the thing that he's done very well after he let the ball go, he kept running forward, which tended to indicate that the ball was continually travelling backwards. Backed himself, Kennedy there. Didn't believe that he needed the support play on the inside. Be a brave man to push the no-try button here at Newcastle.
First decision of the day, what will it be? It's a ref's call, and it is a try. A try to the Newcastle Knights, 4 points to 2. There has been a debate about why, if they go back to the ref's call, why do they go upstairs in the first place? But I think it's just a matter of confirming it.
Well, Greg, if that's the case, I think the referee should at least acknowledge that and say, look, I don't think it was forward, can you check? And all they do is say, can you just check the forward pass?
I think what we've seen in the last 2 weeks, I think we've seen about 6 or 7 of those. Everyone's gone to the referee's call, has been confirmed as a try. So I think it's pretty much a case of we're only going to rap you on the knuckles if there's something wrong with it.
Billy Peden with no Andrew Johns. He's got the task of trying to add the extras, and a fine start for Peden, the captain today. So it's 6 points to 2 after the 11th minute. When they go upstairs to the video referee, the referee's boss, Peter Louis, is saying to the video referee, if you're going back to the referee, come back with an indication. And we don't hear that, of course, but you've just got to assume that there is a word from the referee to say, yeah, I think it's a try.
A clever switch in play there. What we've forgotten to do in waiting for the referee's judgment was to give a big pat on the back to Ben Donaldson. Of course, moving into the hooking spot, he was the one that received the switch in play and put the ball really on a plate for Kennedy to accept.
It was smart play because they changed the direction, brought it back to the short side, and Parramatta were found not moving up, created the gap.
6-2, and now Fairley takes it up to the 30. Matthew Johns looks to be moving freely, doesn't he? Doesn't seem to be suffering from that ankle injury that he's had in recent weeks. Parsons playing it back to Donaldson and across to Badiris. And again, Hodgson perfectly positioned at the back for the Parramatta Eels.
Number 16 coming on for Newcastle now.
Gives it to Bird. He tried to step inside Kennedy, the try scorer, couldn't do so. Dimmick can't find a way through around the ruck. Now Vela. Possession at this stage, 51% to Newcastle. Completion rate perfect for Parramatta, but they're behind on the score sheet by 4. This is Larson. Dimmick kicking this time, and straight to Adam McDougall. Slight fumble, but it went backwards. And McDougall can't get away from the chasers.
Well, remember, Greg, I suppose, with some of the withdrawals in the team, particularly John's out, and of course Jason Smith out, both teams, I think, have lost their real effective kicker. Parramatta, of course, can rely on Ben Custo.
It's good work by Glenn Grief there to keep that ball alive, and managed to pick up another 5 metres or so, and that's popped out the back door. It's going to be a penalty to the Knights.
Tackle's made. Yeah, mate, that's good.
I was just waiting to see whether Tahu was going to elect to try and slip that one out the back door. I think a couple of sloppy passes over the last fortnight probably forced him not to do it.
Well, this is another great attacking opportunity for the Newcastle Knights. Troy Fletcher is on there in 16. So Warren Ryan, the coach, bringing a few of his interchange players into action. This is one of them. Grief got the ball out the back door to Matthew Johns. Thought he spotted a gap close to the post. It soon closed as Vella arrived. Donaldson gives it to Peden. Peden got it to Hughes, and now back to Kennedy. Kennedy, 10 metres out. Firing it up to McDougall. He gets the legs pumping. He's over the line. Did he get it down?
Held up. Third tackle. It's a scrum.
Held up on the third tackle, so it's a scrum. And it's going to be an attacking scrum for the Newcastle Knights. They'll get the feet into the scrum.
Oh, great strength shown by McDougall. Effectively, there was a bit of defence there as well. Hindmarsh was one. Burt also got in to be able to give him some assistance. Some worrying signs shown in the middle, though. Struggling to get back on. His head hit the floor pretty hard.
Got to give him a bit of credit too. He was one of those players that was up, got himself back up and got in front of Adam McDougall. Showed a fair bit of courage there.
To the right side they go. Tahu.
Oh, no.
No, it doesn't matter. You stand up and play the ball.
Penalty goes against the attacking team for not standing up to play the ball. That's basic stuff.
Well, I reckon he was on his feet.
I've seen worse than that.
There was no way in the world he was on his feet, but in the ref's defence, I suppose there was a couple of Parramatta players that may have hidden the view a little bit.
Well, the Eels get an opportunity to work it out of that danger zone. They're up to the 40-metre mark. Hindmarsh to play it. Back to Moran in 14, off the interchange bench, and now Demick. Seems to be enjoying the captaincy role, Jim Demick. 198th first grade game today, heading towards a major milestone, the double ton. Now it's Custo, dummying, almost through. That looked to be a forward. And it's been called back. Referee and touch judge communicating on that one.
Commander saying that it wasn't deliberately forward. He's got it right there.
Hold that formation, fellas.
I think that's something that we've seen. I think we heard you say just a few moments ago about their completion rate and how perfect it's been. It's the last couple that they've had. Haven't looked that flash.
McDougall got away from a couple. Very strong runner. Looking to impress the New South Wales Origin selectors. This is Grief. Real no-nonsense replacement. When Grief gets out there, does the hard meters. Kennedy playing with some confidence after scoring that opening try. The Knights lead 6 points to 2. It's a good run from Steve Simpson. Badiris to Matthew Johns. He's the general out there today. Back to McDougall. McDougall just running across, looking for a gap to open. It doesn't. Tahu moves into dummy half and gives it to Matthew Johns. He goes across the park, kicking for Luke Burt's wing. Who wants it? It's on the ground, and it's a try to Ben Kennedy. He's got a double. It was Benny on the spot. 10-2. The Knights fans delighted. So too is Ben Kennedy. 2 tries already in this match. 17th minute, and they lead by 8.
And of course, it came through a mistake from Parramatta, turning the ball over on a forward pass. Another magnificently placed kick. No problem with Burt being knocked out of the way. The sheer competition between two players, a certain four-pointer.
Well, the thing that helped about this was the fact that they were able to get a roll on. Their forwards kept hitting the ball up, getting good, quick play of the balls, get the back line, plenty of room. And as Wally mentioned, that was a great kick. This is the second good kick he's put up so far today. Players were there.
Yeah, on that occasion, choosing not to get in front. Every other time we've seen it pretty well shepherd. That's the only time that they haven't managed to get in front, and it's been the most costly.
I guess that was the thing. Both of the Parramatta players decided to contest the ball, and David Valicki was one of them, Luke Burt the other.
Not a great conversion attempt from Billy Peden. Not the regular kicker, of course, with no Andrew Johns. I'm sure even Billy knows that he can do better than that. So Valicki electing to go for the ball and not shepherd the Knights chasers. And here it is. Hooked around to the left. We'll forget about that one. So will Billy. So 10 points to 2. Newcastle over Parramatta. And the restart. Allowing it to bounce. Oh! I'm not too happy. It's young Steve Simpson off the interchange bench.
Well, it's unusual to see a player standing well behind the try line. Most clubs tend to play a player that's going to be the catcher of the football, so everyone else can time their run off them.
I think there was a case of just taking the eye off the ball at the vital stage.
Well, it's a great opportunity now for the Eels to hit back with their first try. Custo dragged to ground by Matthew Johns as General Wager moves into dummy half. 7 or 8 metres out from the line. Dennis Moran now dummy half. To the right they go. Hodson turns it back to Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh keeping it alive. This is Custo. Nowhere for him to go. Simpson. The tackler was it? No, it was Fletcher. Wesley. Oh, big defence though. Great tackle coming in from Danny Smales in the 17 jersey. Custo across to Dimmick. Dimmick trying to draw some defenders, turning it back on the inside to Ian Hindmarsh. But good defence by Newcastle. Custo puts it into the in goal, and it's going to be too big for everybody. Well, even though they lost 42-16 to the Sharks last week, the Knights, their coach Warren Ryan was pretty happy with their goal line defensive stages in that match. We saw glimpses of it there. Nowhere for the Eels to exploit. In the end, the kick was too big.
Unusual to see Custo with a kick like that wasn't all that accurate, but one great tackle that was involved in that was from Steve Simpson. I think he felt that he owed it to his teammates for dropping that ball.
The Knights, this is Simpson now. 6 metres from halfway. Possession 53% to the Knights now, so they're edging ahead in that stat. Parramatta playing 52% of the opening 20 minutes or so inside their own territory. The kick downfield needs to sit up. It's going to beat everybody over the dead ball line, so we'll come back to the 20 for the restart. 2 tries to none. A double to Ben Kennedy. Moody straight ahead, picks up 10 metres. Schiavelletti gives it to Wagon. Tried to run over the top of Matthew Johns, couldn't do it. To the short side, Dimmick dummying. They don't fall for it. Ben Donaldson holds on with Johns. Wesley. Custo. McDougall running across, but it's going to be a good bounce for Albert. Rare touch for Darren Albert. He's played 60 matches now, Darren Albert, and he scored 48 tries in those 60 first-grade games. That's a very good strike record. Peden. Taken by Custo. Parsons. 3 Eels defenders in there to shut him down. Fairley. The big men working in tandem, Parsons and Fairley. That's the halfway. Final tackle coming up, and Badiris. That kick was charged down by Skiffaletti. Well done by the Parramatta Eels hooker. And then he knocked it on. Oh, what a shame.
It was. I suppose not to the Newcastle fans, but it's a shame for the effort that Skiffaletti put in. Firstly, the charge from Marker was terrific. Managed to get his hands up. Really just a little bit too much force on top. Johnny Badiris and Darren Albert's weight simply forcing the ball loose. Another 6 tackles coming up to Newcastle.
Hughes. Yeah, John's waiting for it. Having a dart from dummy half before he fires it. Over on the far side. And that's Tahu. Back to Johns. Johns cornered over there. And just manages to stay in the field of play. Parsons. Short ball. It was a good one, but Fletcher couldn't hold on. And Hodgson trying to mount some sort of counter-attack. Zero tackle for the Eels. 25 out from their own line. David Vialecki. Wagon picking up a couple of metres.
Sorry, Greg, I was going to say, I don't know how it seems to Brett, but it just doesn't seem to be the same sort of organisation in the Parramatta forward pack at the moment. It seems to be more a case of Skiffaletti standing up, looking and thinking, well, who am I going to give the ball to this time?
Yeah, they seem to be running one out, and as I said, there's no one organising, no one setting up the play. Jim Dimmick, of course, is probably 2 passes wide. We see him get the ball now. They need someone in tighter to organise the forward play.
Hodgson. Very good defence by the Knights, though. They're moving up. They're shutting the Parramatta Eels down, giving the Eels a bit of their own medicine. McDougall takes it 10 metres out from his own line. Albert. Parsons. Out the back door. Billy Peden.
Greg, that's been a problem for the Eels at the moment. The Knights are making too many metres up the middle of the ruck, and they're also able to unload passes. They need to tighten up the centre area.
The inside pass to Kennedy. Reagan read it pretty well and shut him down. Now it's Donaldson allowed to run before kicking on the final tackle. No pressure on Hodgson back there, who was in a good position again.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That's a flop. That's a flop.
Well, he's got Tahu for his flopping.
Yeah, it is. It's when a man is tackled and the second one simply falls on after the man hits the ground to slow him down. No problem with that whatsoever. There's been a few of those undetected so far, apparently, by the referee. But he got that one right. There's no worries with that whatsoever.
Skiffaletti, Custo, and Fella. 5 from halfway. Looking for their first try, the Parramatta Eels. Down by 8, it's 10-2. Hindmarsh. Kelly. He hands it back. Skiffaletti. And now Hindmarsh. Ian Hindmarsh. And still they keep it alive. Skiffaletti. Demick. Jim looking for support runners. Got away from one. And he'll be forced to play it 10 metres out from the line. To the right they go. Hodgson fires it up. Vialecki floating with the touchline. He's into touch. A big tackle from Mark Hughes.
Wasn't it a monster? Very clever pass. He just had to reach up. It made it a little bit tough to him because he had to reach up a fair bit to be able to catch that ball. Vialecki, which opened up a real big target. And boy, didn't Mark Hughes home in on it.
Nathan, stay in there, mate. I'll let you know, mate.
Danny Badiris handling the halfback role well today in the absence of Andrew Johns. This is Lenny Beckett, the left winger. Donaldson Gives it to Parsons. He did well to get out of that front row and get across there. Be ready to take that pass. Good defence there from Gary Larson for the Eels. Peden. Johns. Intercept by Kelly. Kelly chased from behind by Albert. Kelly, and he's going to evade Albert, and Kelly is going to score the try for the Parramatta Eels. In back play, Matthew Johns can't believe it, but if he looks up on the score sheet, he'll see it. It's a 4-pointer that should become a 6-pointer for the Eels. 28th minute, just what Parramatta needed.
Yeah, Johns obviously spotted something. They've attacked that side quite a number of occasions, as has Johns thrown similar passes to that one. Unfortunately, for the Newcastle Knight fans, Kelly timed his run perfectly, snatched it out, was even quick enough to get away from Darren Albert. That was, you'd have to say, though, a very risky pass where he was thrown for. One you used to, Mr. Bruce. Brett. Bruce. You used to enjoy those ones.
Call me Bruce.
Pluck one I had one day, I remember.
But look, I mean, it had to happen. I mean, that was probably the third. Wally mentioned that Johns has thrown a couple of those passes already in the game, and Stuart Kelly read it well. I mean, it did float a little, and I think he did really well on the run to the line too, because Darren Albert would have taken him, and Kelly realised that, so he moved out to the left-hand side, and a bit of a swerve, and it was able to put Darren Albert off foot.
Yeah, when I saw the intercept, and I saw that he had to beat Albert, I thought the money would be on Albert to drag him in, but he did well to evade the tackle. So Burt from right in front. No problems. The legs are up. Ryan Smith, coach of the Parramatta Eels. He'll be a little happier now. Just a 2-point gap now. 30th minute, 10 points to 8. Still the Knights in front. 2 tries to 1. Good work, Stuart Kelly. Make the most of that opportunity.
I'm sure he's glad it was only 50 metres. I think if he had to run any further.
Peden with the restart for the Newcastle Knights. Taken back there by Andrew Ryan in the 15 jersey. He'll play it on the 20. Gary Larson. This is Vella. Haven't seen too much of the young debutant for the Eels, wearing the 19 jersey, PJ Marsh. So he's got a huge future in the game. Was part of the First Division Parramatta side last year that went so well. Now it's Moran. Taken by Shields. Final tackle coming up. This is Marsh. Did well to evade that tackler. And the pass out to Burt. He kicks ahead into space, but the bounce is going to beat everybody. Into touch. So the scrum will pack down.
Gee, for two teams that really do build a lot of their success on their forwards, and the work rate of their forwards, we're seeing them spread the ball a lot more than we would normally see in the first 40 minutes of play.
White Nathan, White Nathan!
Tell you what, if they keep throwing the ball around the way they are, that Stuart Kelly intercept, I don't think will be the first and only one. I think there'll be a couple more.
15 from halfway, the Newcastle Knights. Peden takes it ahead. Slight fumble there from Parsons. The one-handed pass back to Fairley. Away goes Big David. Good strong run up to the 30. Good go forward for the Newcastle Knights, and now Matthew Johns looks to the right, gives it to Peter Shields. Shields find a great pass away. McDougall back to the support play. Donaldson got it out to Badiris, and now Kennedy back to Badiris. Badiris to Johns. Matthew Johns looking. Can he get the hands free? No, he's going to be wrapped up, ball and all, by Vella, Moran, and also in there was Larson. To the right they go now. Back to Peden and Badiris. Badiris, the inside pass to Donaldson. He wasn't really expecting that one. Snatched at it, and it goes to ground. That's the end of the movement.
Thankfully so for Parramatta and their fans. Really exciting football being played by the Knights. Their ability to keep the ball alive is making it very difficult for Parramatta to contain them, let alone control the football.
Don't go early, Bill. Still in there, get in.
Both completing 10 of their sets. 6. This is Hodgson. Moody moves into dummy half. Picks up 10 metres. To the 30 he goes. This is Wesley. Got a good pass away to Moran. Moran, the inside pass. Moody. That's halfway. Moran. Custo. Back on the inside. Vella. Playing with some more confidence now. The Parramatta Eels. Custo. Left-footed kick. And McDougall picks it up 5 metres out from his own line. The chasers arrive and they trap him. Albert. Can't find a way through. To the short side. Donaldson. Badiris. Now they wind up. David Fairley takes them on. He'll play it 5 from halfway. Matthew Johns. The bounce is a good one for Burt. Taken by Peden. Dimmick. Marsh. Andrew Ryan makes it to the halfway. Wesley. Just one out, no nonsense stuff in this set for Parramatta. Final tackle coming up. Marsh. Nudging it down behind Lenny Beckett. He'll pick it up. It's taken by Violecki. Mark Hughes. Violecki the tackler again. Kennedy. Appealing for a penalty there, the referee not having anything of it.
Well, I agree. I thought that there was a flop went on in there. However, the ensuing tackle sees a turnover.
Ryan taken by Fairley. Peter Shields has gone to the dressing rooms for some treatment. And he's one of their key forwards, of course, for the Newcastle Knights. Now it's Dimmick and Ryan. Try here will give them the lead. Close to half-time, 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Marsh holds it up, fires it out now to Wesley. He's held up in front of the uprights, 5 metres out. So some real pressure on the Newcastle Knights line now. Moran kicking into open spaces. McDougall's going to have to scurry back there. He takes it over the dead ball line. And so they're going to get another crack at it, the Parramatta Eels.
I tell you what, I know he's an outstanding winger, but geez, Adam McDougall's had a very good game at fullback. Never far away from the ball, no matter what position the field is kicked into. He's just playing out an outstanding game today.
Stand up.
Looks like he's going to be at fullback for a while as well, because Olivia Davis is out for at least a month, they say, maybe more.
It could help him too, Greg, with selection for the New South Wales side. They know he can play. Obviously, he's a great winger. They know he can play fullback as well.
Ryan running it back, makes it to the 30. 10-8. The Knights over the Eels. This is Vella. Marsh. Wagon. Out to Kelly, the try scorer. Back to Wagon. The Knights regroup. Hindmarsh. 6 or 7 metres from the line. Moran to Marsh. Across to Dimmick. Dimmick showing it on the inside, then giving it to Ryan. halfway through the gap, but it soon closed. The tackle from Kennedy. Demick from dummy half. That's come off a Newcastle Knights player. That will be the changeover. The referee ruling that he didn't play at that.
David Fairley, I think, was the man that he ruled that it didn't come off their knees. I suppose the referee was close enough to make the decision, and I'm sure that Newcastle are feeling fairly relieved. They need to get out of this territory.
Simpson. 21 metres out from his own line. Parramatta shutting down a couple of the try-scoring machines here in this night side. Darren Albert and also Tahu. They've had limited opportunities in the first half. Penalty. Parramatta inside the 10. Quick tap taken here from Badiris, trying to catch him, napping, and he does! Danny Badiris will go all the way and score a try for the Newcastle Knights. Oh, the quick tap paying dividends. Parramatta inside the 10. The tap was taken and it was all over. 14 points to 8 now. The third try to the Knights. Well done, Danny Badiris.
That's the most expensive piece of real estate you'll ever see. I think the referee will have to say that they were back half or in front of him by about half a metre. Fortunately, it's led to almost a certain six-pointer. That's magnificent work, but very ordinary defence. Moran was the man, I believe, that should have got him. I'd probably say that you believe that Gary Larson would have come up with a little bit better effort originally as well.
Well, the only person he didn't catch out was probably you. You were still right on the spot, ready to call that play. It's the Parramatta players, their backs turned.
Never plant the ball, okay? Never plant the ball. Don't walk forward off the mark. If you try to milk the penalty, you won't get it. Okay, so get them to stand up on the play.
Some warnings on the run there from referee Tim Mender for the Newcastle Knights. The try scorer, Danny Badiris, wearing the number 7 jersey that's been occupied by certain Andrew Johns for many seasons here at Newcastle. Badiris will be pretty happy with his role today as the understudy.
Well, he hasn't let the jersey down.
One thing I've got to say about these referees with their penalties on the 10 metres, I mean, I've seen probably half a dozen times earlier on in the game I thought Parramatta were well and truly in front of the referee and nothing happened. And of course this time I thought they were in line, and he's turned around and penalised them.
This one from Peden, much better. The flags are up. That'll please his coach. There's Warren Ryan there, the Newcastle Knights mentor, getting ready to head down to the dressing room at half-time. Flags are flying here. Plenty for the home fans to cheer about in the first half, especially that try right on the stroke of half-time. Half-time, Newcastle leading Parramatta by 16 points to 8. So a good, entertaining first half here in front of a very good crowd at Marathon Stadium. And it is the home side leading half-time. It is Newcastle leading by 16 points to 8. 2 tries to Ben Kennedy, 1 to Denny Badiris, Peden 2 from 3. And for Parramatta, the 1 intercept try to Stu Kelly, and Luke Bird has kicked 2 from 2. So 8 points in it.
Yeah, very difficult. Parramatta constantly on the back foot. However, I'm sure their coach, who wasn't real happy on the walk up the tunnel at the half-time, particularly with one of the refereeing decisions, he would have reminded them that a little bit more is required.
So the second half is underway, and Demick seems to be a little stranded out there because he hasn't got Jason Smith to bounce off. Last week against the Raiders, one either side of the ruck. They seem to work it pretty well, but Demick's out there on his own today.
Well, Greg, Demick likes to play probably 2 passes wide, and unfortunately, when they have Jason Smith there, he looks after the middle of the ruck, and unfortunately, with him not being there, Demick's still out wide, and there's no one looking after the centre.
Yeah, Greg's point, I think that's the real important part, Clarkie. When they've got those guys standing on either side of the ruck, your defence has to be spread and pay attention either side. At the moment, they seem to be centering the concentration of their defence as their attack breaks wide.
This is Marsh on debut. What a start to the second half, and Hindmarsh is going to score the try. Well, it's taken him about 41 minutes to show what he's really worth, this youngster, PJ Marsh. Talk about blistering speed. He spotted the gap, and that was a great try to start the second half. 41st minute, so 16-8 becomes 16-12 with the kick to come.
Well, a nice little dart out of dummy half. Skipperletti offloading. It really was an ordinary attempt from Kennedy at that stage, who himself had cashed in on a few tackles that were very similar throughout the first half. Support play was there, not the start the Knights wanted.
Well, it certainly wasn't, but geez, he has got some pace, this little bloke, hasn't he? And there you see a little man up against a big man, just used his blistering pace. Well backed up there, I think, was Andrew Ryan. You've got to give him a bit of credit there. He had the confidence in Marsh making the break. So it was Ian Hindmarsh. Backed up on the inside, good pass. It's a great start. It's a start that obviously Brian Smith was looking for.
Yes. Oh, I don't know what
You're looking at that face, you wouldn't think it was.
Doesn't give too much away. Still a long way to go, but this is going to narrow the gap to 2 with Burt to add the extra 2 from right in front, surely. 75% for season 2000. Well, everyone's been raving about PJ Marsh for some time. He's actually come off the field of play after setting up that try. Let's hope it's not serious for the youngster, but he's gone to the dressing room for some treatment. Well, that was certainly a glimpse of what he's capable of as the bench looks on. Larson, Ryan and Moran there as well. Well, it's Burt now to try and add the 2 points. 16-12, should be 16-14. It is. What a start to the second half. The Parramatta Eels. Well, the Knights thought they were going to run away with it, Wally, as we have a look at today's crowd. 22,369. So that is the best crowd of the season. We go back to round 3 of the match against the West Tigers here when 21,300 turned up. So well done to the Knights fans, and I'm sure there's quite a few Parramatta fans in there as well that have taken the opportunity to spend Easter Sunday away with their team.
Well, back to the kickoff, 3 minutes into the second half. We probably started off by saying that Newcastle were well in control. It's back to anybody's ball game at the moment.
Well, I think that could be a wake-up call for the Knights there. I think they relaxed a little coming into the second half.
The Eels now, Hindmarsh, the crowd thought that was forward. Line ball. Skipperletti waiting for it a dummy half. To the short side they go. Kelly taken by Badiris. Skipperletti gives it to Wesley. He runs into 3 of the Knights defenders. That's the halfway mark. Final tackle coming up. Custo. This time he gives it some air. And they're going to allow it to bounce. And McDougall eventually grabs it about 5 metres out from his own line. McDougall and Beckett looking at it for a while there, and then they decided to let it bounce, which is always a bit risky.
And they were looking at each other a couple of times, Greg, too. I think it was, I hope you call for the ball. I'm not real keen on getting under it.
David Fairley. Donaldson. Badiris moving to halfback to replace Andrew Johns. Donaldson gets his opportunity at hooker. A couple of handling problems in the first half. Generally speaking, he's gone okay. The young hooker. Now it's the Eels on the halfway. I think Warren Ryan would have liked a bit more distance with that kick on the 5th tackle. Hodgson. So they're inside the Knights' territory, the Eels. And Demick showing it on the inside and giving it to Daniel Wagon. Kennedy holds on. So too does Hughes. Skipperletti allowed to run. Now he picks up Custo. The inside pass to Hindmarsh. Nathan Hindmarsh this time. His 50th first grade game today, Nathan. Hindmarsh dummying. Carrying a couple of Knights defenders to the 10-metre mark. Final tackle coming up. Custo, he goes to the air, kicking for Beckett's wing. Plenty of chasers. Well, Burt almost had it in his hands, and now it is the Knights. For a moment they tried to...
Yeah, it's a knock forward. People calling for it to play advantage, but the advantage is not going Newcastle's way. Burt was the one that knocked it forward. There it goes there, straight into the hands. Johns who tipped it on. Not a bad kick, though.
So the Knights through Parsons now, 32 metres out from their own line. 16 is Troy Fletcher. That's a good strong run, almost to the halfway. Matthew Johns, cross field, linking up out there with Hughes. Hughes bringing it back inside to Beckett. He ran into 3 Eels defenders. Peden. Final tackle now for the Knights. Matthew Johns. And that's quite rare for Matthew Johns on his home territory. This is saying here that the Johns boys know every blade of grass at Marathon, but on that occasion he misjudged it and he knew it straight away.
And knew the ones over the sideline too.
Wesley. He's lost it. Play on.
Sorry.
Well, initially he said play on, but he got the call.
David Fairley's had his hand in there and pushed it out. There.
Oh, turn it up.
No, it wasn't, mate. It was blatantly okay.
That's what I thought too. Blatantly okay, and the penalty kick doesn't find touch.
Well, that's a rare mistake by the Eels. A side that really prides themselves on doing the basics right. Parsons, a good hit up again. Fairley. 10 from halfway. This crowd starting to lift now. Getting behind the local side, and now Donaldson has lost it. Having an unhappy day in that department, Donaldson. Couple of blemishes in the first half, now one in the second.
He caught a tackle high there. He's not in real good shape at the moment. I'm sure whoever kicked the football for touch is breathing a little bit easier at the moment.
Kelly gave it to Larson. He was smothered immediately by Kennedy. Custo. Demick. Wagon. Taken by Donaldson. 20 metres out from the line. Tackles remaining for the Eels. Larson straight ahead. Moran moving into dummy half. Custo drops it onto the left foot, and Albert is back there, and he'll be claimed in goal by Kelly and also Moody. I'll get another crack at it here, the Parramatta Eels. It'll be a restart from between the sticks.
Yeah, good work from Custo, running the ball wide, just dropping it in behind. He's going to keep the hometown defence in 2 minds every time he gets it at the moment. I think I've noticed when he's running the football now, the Knights are just tending to hang off Custo at the minute. They're looking for his supporting players rather than putting pressure on his passing game.
Donaldson has been given a breather, so he's back to the interchange bench for the Knights. And Vella straight ahead. Good spot to launch this raid, only 30 metres out from the line. Tackles remaining. This is Larson up towards the 20. 16-14, Newcastle over Parramatta. Custo. Demick showing it. Making to take them on at the end. The tackle by Johns. Custo to the short side. Switch back. And now Hindmarsh stands and looks to offload. Nobody there to take it. So he takes the tackle. And Demick. They were slow moving up this time, the Newcastle Knights. Demick pops it back now to Vella. Vella across field. Standing. Waiting to offload. Who wants it? Vella. Eventually he has to take the tackle. Well, the penalty goes to Parramatta. They can lock it up here with a penalty goal. They can keep the pressure on, but a long way to go. They might take the 2 on offer, I think.
It'll be interesting to see what the referee claimed. He kept yelling out, walk off, walk off. Kennedy, no doubt he's in tight there. Well, he had hold of the football, but the other guy, for retaliating, has probably let the ball go. Anyway, there was no doubt that Kennedy had hold of the football.
Newcastle Junior Knights powered by Pura
Ryan Smith
supporting junior rugby league in the Newcastle
plenty of communicating.
area.
And Burt looking to lock it up here at 16 apiece after it was 16-8 at the break. .28.5 minutes to go. The flags are up. No problems for Burt.
Successful penalty to
16 all, 52nd minute. One of the biggest crowd so far this season at Marathon, 22,000.
Well, now this is going to be a real test for the Newcastle team. They've got through the first 40-minute period very well. Their confidence grew as the half progressed. They've started the second half the wrong way. Things aren't going as they would prefer. They're having to make changes one after another to try and keep the continuity going. They're starting to tire a little bit. This will be a real test.
Heaton kicks off. Here he goes about 22 metres. 30 metres, in fact. Possession. Time of their own half, Newcastle. They'll have to turn that stat around. 57% of the match so far inside their own 50. Here's Moran. He's taken there by Tamana Tahu. Larson. Taken by his opposite number, Danny Smales in the 17. Also in there was Matt Parsons. Hindmarsh. Standing. Got it back to Moran. And now Custo. That's the halfway. Custo, nowhere for him to go. Hodgson. McDougall takes it about 5 out from his own line. The chasers arrive, force him to play it. Beckett straight ahead. Crowd appealing for a penalty there. Amanda won't have anything of it. Parsons, 10 from halfway. Matthew Johns. It's going to take someone like Matthew Johns just to steer this Newcastle ship around, and now the kick ahead.
You're in front.
McDougall was in front of the kicker though.
Yeah, I think he got the call right there, the referee. A little bit of a stutter at the end. What held it up a little bit when contact was made. He was just a fraction in front.
Penalties, 9 of them so far. 6 to Parramatta, 3 to the Knights. In good field position again for the Eels. Wesley. Custo. Kelly. Got it back to Hindmarsh. Nathan Hindmarsh. Kelly waiting for a dummy half. He's going to take them on the short side. It's been knocked on by Newcastle. Another set of 6. Another set coming up here. Is it a try? No, it's a penalty. Oh, 6 tackles remaining. He's got up and he hasn't played it properly. Nathan Hindmarsh can't believe it.
Well, that's the rule that he said he was going to enforce. The dive at the ball not coming off. But Tahu really looked to be stacks on the mill.
Well, he didn't get up to play it.
Gee.
Obviously, the referee's really
held.
He was held.
But there's probably 3 occasions at the other end of the field we've seen the man with the ball held up for probably 3 or 4 seconds longer than that, and he's let it go on. I think they've been hard done by there. However,
Ball went straight down. Straight down.
Pete not happy about that. Have a look at this one again. Was he held? There's the fumble there from Newcastle, picked up by Hindmarsh.
The arm carrying the ball hasn't touched the ground.
Didn't touch the ground, that's right. And the incident that's just happened, I don't know, obviously got to get the rule book out. I thought that the ball had to be propelled forward for it to be called knock on. The referee said it went straight down, which is an indication that it didn't go forward.
Moran is there for the Parramatta Eels. And it's Kelly. Penalty. Badiris and the others inside the 10.
Back up.
That's a penalty that they didn't need. Give them the chance to take a 2-point lead. No problem whatsoever. He didn't get back his 10 metres from the play the ball. Badiris, the man that was trapped. However, Parramatta electing to take a tap.
Kicking for touch and losing some metres just to give themselves a little bit of room to manoeuvre. This is a real pressure time for the Newcastle Knights. The Eels looking to really ram home this good field position. That went out the back door, so it was knocked back. It's okay. Moran kicking, taking them on early in the tackle count. The tackle count starts again. It came off the Newcastle Knights player, Wesley. Wesley getting close. He's about 1 metre out from the line. There's a big line-up out to the right for Parramatta. Schiavelletti goes to Dimmick. Dimmick goes to the defensive line. And he'll play it 8 metres out. Schiavelletti. Moran, quick hands. Was that touched by Newcastle?
Okay, on forward.
No, it wasn't. It's still with the Eels, though. A couple of tackles remaining. Kelly over the top. Moody against his old club, and he's going to slam it down for a try. Jason Moody scores the try for the Parramatta Eels, and they are in front. Sustained pressure. And in the end, the Knights just couldn't hold them out. It's Parramatta leading by 20 points to 16.
Sustained pressure, and in the end, Newcastle just failing to spread. They panicked a little bit, sent 3 men into one tackle, which didn't need to be made. Albert was the man that was caught out of position on this wing. He was in marking up. There's the men all getting caught, drawn into one tackle. Clever offload. He did pretty well there, Bert, to get it over the top.
Well, he certainly did. I feel Newcastle consider themselves a little unlucky there. There was one play there, the kick through. The referees ruled that they played at it. We saw a similar incident in the first half. He ruled they didn't play at it. So, but they got the ball back. 6 again, Parramatta, and as you mentioned, 3 men in on the one player, created a little overlap, and he did very well to be able to get through the tackle of McDougall to score.
They certainly have dominated the second half as it's progressed. Almost halfway through the second period. They've been the team that's managed to make the most of the opportunities that have come their way. I think they've stuck to their game pattern probably a little bit better than Newcastle have. Simply worked it away. You see their forwards working into field position rather than taking risky passing manoeuvres.
50% from the sideline this season for Luke Burt. Off the left foot, it's a beauty. The flags are up. That gives them a bit of breathing space. 22 points to 16. 60th minute, it's Parramatta over Newcastle. A crackerjack game here in the second half now. That is 14 points to 0 in the second half to the Eels over the Knights as the flags go up. Another look at it there. And Kelly, the top offloader today with 5. Said at the start, there's players like Kelly that really had to control things out in the centres. Remembering that Jason Smith is not in the side. And he's doing a fine job. Scored a try.
The one thing, Wally, you mentioned how the forwards for the Eels are starting to take control up the middle of the ruck. Something I have noticed is players like Hindmarsh, both Hindmarshes, and Ryan, when he's come on, they're starting to play at the middle now. Early on in the first half, they were standing 2 and 3 players wide. Now they've come in close to the ruck and starting to be able to do a bit of damage.
Giffaletti. Ryan to play it. Larson.
They're doing it fairly comfortably. That's 5 tackles and they're back to halfway.
Giffaletti from dummy half with the kick. Over towards Lenny Beckett. Well, the Knights haven't been able to bring Tamata Tahu or Darren Albert into much of the play so far. And they're prolific try scorers. Maybe it's time for them to get a little more involved and to get the ball out their way. This is Hughes, one of the centres. Heaton to Grief. Taken by Wagon. Down by 8 at half-time, the Eels, but they didn't panic. They came out firing in the second half. Smales, 5 from halfway. Matthew Johns. Alberderis didn't quite get the kick in. It's play on. And coming away with it is Nathan Hindmarsh. Not a great execution, was it? The kick on the final tackle for the Newcastle Knights, and now it's Moody. They look to be a little bit rattled at the moment, the Knights, and Hindmarsh pushes one away. Still going inside the red zone. Giffaletti waiting for it at dummy half. Moran is there, first receiver, and now Dimmick. Dimmick goes wide to Ryan, and Andrew Ryan straightens it up. He can't find a way through, though. 10 out from the line. 22-16, the Eels over the Knights, and it's Parramatta applying the pressure yet again. This is Vella. He's taken there by Simpson and also Kennedy. Giffaletti, the grubber kick in behind the line. Beckett. It's gone dead. Was it carried dead by Beckett?
Knocked on.
It was knocked on by Burt, so he got a hand to it. That's the call from the touch judge.
Yeah, propelled forward by Burt first, and I think he basically thought, well, I don't want to make contact in case I knock it over. He did. Finally, giving the Knights an opportunity to be able to get out of their line. They desperately need play at the other end of the field.
Yes, it's been all inside their own half so far in the second half. This is Glenn Grief. For a moment, it looked like he was going to cough it up there. Just manages to hold on. Badiris Simpson. 61% of the time inside the Knights' territory so far. An alarming stat, that one, for their coach, Warren Ryan. Troy Fletcher out the back door. McDougall stepping. Out the back door again to his captain, Peden. Penalty. Well, another set coming up here for the Knights, or do they take the 2 from right in front?
It's consistent both
Okay,
sides.
no worries.
So then we're doing the 2
No worries.
sides.
You got one?
As long as they can play.
So what are we doing? Okay.
They're going to try for the 6-pointer. Right in front of the uprights. Simpson gets the legs pumping. 2 or 3 metres out from the line. Badiris, well read by Wagon and also Dimmick. They came up out of the line to shut the movement down. Matthew Johns trying to step his way through. Desperate defence from Dimmick yet again. McDougall from a standing start. Final tackle coming up now. Badiris, grubber kick. Knocked on Parramatta. Came off the foot first, then it went to the hand and he knocked it on.
I don't think Gary agrees. Well, it was an accidental offside anyway, wasn't it? It came off Larson's knee, went back forward to Dimmick, so whether it was actually a knock-on or not, it was really immaterial in the end.
12 errors against Newcastle to Parramatta 7. Timeout called here as we have a look at the completions. Newcastle 16 from 28, that's very low.
Well, they've had to do a lot of defence, Greg, too, and that probably adds to their lack of completion rate because they're very tired, they haven't been able to control the ball. and it seems to go hand in hand. If you're doing a lot of tackling, it makes it very tough when you get the ball back.
15 minutes remaining. What a match. Medeiros puts it in and takes it out. Gives it over to Johns. Johns across field trying to link up. Matthew Johns having a go on his own. 5 metres out from the line. McDougall from a standing start again. Donaldson. Peden. Well, he puts the head down and tries to burrow his way through. Options either side. Now it's Simpson for the line. Did he get it down? No. Half a metre out from the line. Donaldson at dummy half to Johns. Out to Medeiros. Medeiros gives it to Grief. Grief plays it. Final tackle coming up. It's Medeiros. And across it goes now. Peden put it on the ground, but no one knew about it. There were no chasers. Peden down in back play as well. He looks to be in a distressed state. And so the Eels survive the onslaught. They still lead by 6.
Gee, I thought they took 2 very poor options. 3 rucks ago, they should have shifted the ball to the left. They had about 6 or 7 players marking up against 2 defenders. However, Parramatta escape.
I think there too, the option should have been the high kick. I mean, they've had success in the first half off the high kick. Why they've decided not to do that is beyond me.
Custo wanting to get out of his own territory. They haven't had to play too much of the second half inside their own 50, the Eels, so understandably they want to get down the other end. That's where they prefer it. And McDougall. Crowd thought it was high. The referee says it was around the chest. Darren Albert. Rare touch for him in the second half. I'll be looking for him more often. 13 minutes remaining. Fletcher up towards halfway. This is Grief. Medeiros, Matthew Johns. Well, he's getting involved. He's trying to spark something, Matthew is. Final tackle coming up. Medeiros whips it on the ground and it goes back to Hodgson. Straight to Hodgson. Almost down his throat. Was that a trip? Timeout. We'll hear the report.
Be quiet, please. Come here. Come here, please. No, come here, please. Look, I think you've taken him off balance, okay? But we're going to still have to put that in a report because you have hit him with your leg first, okay?
Commander Tahu on report. Was it a trip? Certainly stuck the foot out.
He was very off balance. But they've got to that stage, I think, through an absolute nothing kick. I couldn't believe the last play option they put in that set. Surely would have been better sense to have put the ball in the air.
The thing about it, Wally, is that both times on the 5th tackle, Matthew Johns has been the one that's been had to play the ball. I mean, they need to get him out of there, and he's the one that should be putting the kicks in.
Hindmarsh to play it now. Completion rate for the Eels in the first 11 rounds, 68% today. 10% better than that. Good effort by the Eels. Down by 8 at half-time. They've scored 14 unanswered points in the second half so far, but it's not over yet. 11.5 minutes remaining, 6 points in it. PJ Marsh, who's been to the dressing rooms to receive some treatment in the second half. Good to see the youngster back out there. This is Burt, and he's 29 metres out from the line. Final tackle coming up. Marsh is in position, looking for the 1-pointer. Had plenty of time, but it's away to the left. Albert. Knock back, so it's play on. Albert almost gave himself up there.
The boy with the lolly finger in the lolly jar. So you never give yourself up in a situation like that.
He was lucky that McDougall was back there unmarked.
Well, Greg, I think in a way, when he stopped, I think the Parramatta defence stopped as well, which gave him a bit of time.
That's the old ruling. He learned it from 7 years on. Play to the whistle. Albert. Tahu on report for tripping. Fairley out the back door to Smales. Claimed immediately by Dennis Moran. Well, someone needs to put their hand up here for the Knights. 5th and last. The grubber kick in behind the line from John straight to Hodgson again. He ran into one of his own players. And eventually he's going to be forced to play the ball 8 metres inside the Knights' territory. The Eels, they look to be full of running, Parramatta.
Well, they were designed there, or that kick was designed to try and get possession back. It was always going to be risky. They need to be at the other end of the football field. They've got to use their long kicking game.
Ryan out of a couple. Sloppy defence here from the Knights. Have the Newcastle side run their race? Have they got any petrol left in the tank? Ryan again. Another try here you would think would wrap it up for the Parramatta Eels. Still tackles remaining here, only about 11 metres out from the line. Custo, he's going to have a shot for one. And it looks good, it's there. A one-pointer from Ben Custo. The Parramatta fans and this big crowd here at Marathon are happy with that because the margin is now 7, so the Knights are going to have to score twice.
No communication. There was not one person there that let any of his teammates know that they had to play the chasing role to try and get rid of the opportunity for a drop goal. I think they're pretty much out in their feet at the moment. Completely outplayed throughout this second half.
Well, that's a ball game for mine. I think the Eels have got this one won.
Gee, I worry when you start making predictions like that.
I don't think it's the end of their scoring yet. At the moment, they look full of running at the moment. Body language from both teams tells a pretty important message.
Oh, Vella. They lost one of their last 6, Parramatta. The win today will make it 4 on the trot. They'll move into the top 8. The loss today for Newcastle will really have Warren Ryan concerned because that will mean 4 losses from their last 5 matches. Mid-season slump maybe for Newcastle as they await some of the big guns to come back from injury and suspension. McDougall, for a moment it looked like there was going to be a lack of communication there between McDougall and Beckett. Remembering, of course, McDougall relatively new to the fullback role. Filling in for Robbie O'Davis. And they're still inside their own territory. They haven't been able to get to the other end of the park enough in the second half. Parsons. Look at that. 59% inside their own half. They've picked up a couple of percent. It's the last time we saw that, but possession still well and truly dominated by Parramatta. Matthew Johns over to Lenny Beckett. He makes it to the 40. Parramatta know if they can hold their line here. They're in with a big show of snatching victory. These two sides played 3 times last year. The knock-on from Moran. The Eels beat them 3 times last year.
And isn't that a bonus? John's electing to run it on the last. Moran actually argued with the referee that the ball wasn't knocked on. I think it was a little bit hard to argue that one. But it's given Newcastle an opportunity to get another 6 tackles. A turnover of possession there really would have put extra wind in Parramatta's sail. However,
Johns and Hughes. Oh, well taken by Custo. Penalty. He's got David Vailecki for the flop. That's coming in to complete the tackle when the player was already down on the ground. Parsons. They need a try here. They need to score twice. The Knights to come from behind after they led by 8 at half-time. Options either side. Can Parramatta hold them out again? This is Donaldson. Gunning, stepping, Donaldson. Held up there. Ian Hindmarsh wrapped him up. McDougall. McDougall! McDougall runs it around a little closer to the post. And that sets up a thrilling finish here at Marathon. Adam McDougall. Well, it was sheer strength, really, that got him across there. 23 points to 20 with the kick to come.
Yeah, very clever footwork. He spotted, who am I going to run out? He decided, I'll go at Custo, because Custo was standing flat-footed. He really had nothing else to do once he got started again than to try and compete with pace, and he couldn't do that with McDougall.
Yeah, he's a big man, plenty of pace. Picked the right man to run at. The question mark now remains is, will they be able to kick this goal? Poor old Billy Peden. We've got some pressure on him now.
Whilst the gap is still 3, even with the conversion, they'll need to score one more time. First try today, the 8th for the year. He's 2 behind Albert and Tahu as far as the leading try scorers go in this Newcastle Knights side. Peden. He's missed it. It's away to the right. Concern on the face of Warren Ryan.
There is, but Greg, I've got to almost say that you can question the value of what the conversion was there. I mean, I copped a boatload of criticism as we see the replay of the try. McDougall just too fast, too strong. A boatload of criticism in an Origin match for not electing to take a conversion. You can do it in under 7, you can do it in first grade, but it doesn't make any difference. They have the opportunity tonight. If they score, there's still a point in front. What difference does it make now?
That was the question I was going to ask. Actually, why would you take the kick? And I was going to mention the fact that you did do that in a State of Origin.
It's taken 2 minutes away.
And now it's Parsons and Albert. Down the short side he goes. Picks up 10 metres. I'll be looking for Albert to be running off Matthew Johns on the inside and Tahu on the outside. Was putting the defence in 2 minds. Badiris running to the line. Putting the short pass away. An inside ball to Kennedy. Kennedy got the pass away. Billy Peden. Peden for the line. The skipper. Oh, they've come back from the dead, the Knights. Billy Peden. And I tell you what, they've gone wild here at Marathon. The biggest crowd of the season in Newcastle. 24 points to 23.
Ah, they're grandstanders. They knew it was coming. Peden will get the accolades from the crowds, but I tell you what, there's 2 blokes that you've got to give a huge rap to. 3, as a matter of fact. Fairley was one of them. Have a look at that ball there from Kennedy. Not only scored a double, but produced the match-winning pass. Badiris was the one who started it. The big fella finished it off. And so will the crowd in about 8 hours' time.
Yeah, this was great work. A set play, obviously, good work by Fairley. As you mentioned, this was a great ball. Well backed up by Peden, showed plenty of pace. But I tell you what, we spoke about whether they should take the kick for goal. I reckon it was a planned move. They wanted to waste time. They knew they were going to score.
Oh, and you could see the delight on his face on the way to the line. But you can't be critical. In having a look at that again, I was trying to, while Brett was speaking, pick out an efficiency in Parramatta's defence. There wasn't any. They had people sliding from the inside, even 2 people coming across. It was just a sheer brilliance. Even Dimmick got to be able to come back at Kennedy. Probably 1 bloke back at the extra at the back would have given them a little bit of a bonus. But this has been an absolutely magnificent fight back. The only... as the tries converted. The only time I think you've seen them very happy in this half of football. Well, Custo will take the kick-off. Greg, I think you can back it pretty surely that a short kick-off. Well, he's just run onto the field and he's just come off the bench. I'm not sure whether he'll actually take it. You would think that a short kick-off was in order.
There's the restart. Knocked back. And so the Eels have come up with it. And Hodgson will play it on the halfway. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wally. I thought with 7.5 minutes to go, I heard Kenny say that was a ball game for Parramatta. He's put the mocker on his old joint. But not yet. They're not out of it. But it's going to take a big effort for them to come back. And Larson is there, 21 metres out from the line, 26-23, 1 minute remaining. Hindmarsh gives it to Kelly. Kelly out the back door. Wagon is there, gives it now to Larson. Larson straight ahead. Still tackles remaining here. They won the restart. It was a great restart. He's almost rugby union style. Now they go wide, and that ball has gone forward. Has it? Yes, it has. The call came from the touch judge. Was that the last throw of the dice for the Eels? A big crowd here, I think it is.
Gee, I tell you what, if the ball had gone safely to hand, there may have been some very nervous moments. And Luke Burke would have been the man with the sprint to the line. Now, formality. As the clock is stopped, a sprint from the coach's box from Smith. I don't think he's too happy about it. I think we may see a fair shove in this scrum, though. Not too many go against the feed, but you'd be desperately putting every bit of energy into pushing the scrum feeders off the mark.
Well, what would the odds be putting it just behind the Locks feet here?
Look at the shove on.
You're delaying yourself, fellas.
He's got to throw the ball in behind the
Come on.
behind the Locks feet.
This will go down. Get it in. Get it in.
6 seconds.
We're going to pack it. We're packing it no matter what. We are packing the scrum no matter what.
The referee time off.
He's insisting that they pack the
Take it
scrum.
easy. Take it easy.
He's just got to put it in and fall on it. Penalty against Parramatta, pushing off the mark.
Well, you couldn't blame them. I mean, they've got to try something.
Badaris, that's it. Huge crowd here at Marathon Stadium, biggest for the season. They led by 8 at half-time, but they had to come back from the dead in the second half. In the end, Newcastle take the 2 points.